It's alive! It's alive!
What's up, everybody? Welcome out to our 6 o'clock live stream. We are here hanging out with you all. As you can see, we're trying something different today where we're going to do a little bit of microphone action with real microphones instead of the lav mics that were complete crap last week, and I apologize for that, but hopefully it sounds better tonight, and, you know, everybody's happy, man. And
I'm certainly happy.
Justin is not happy because now he has to sit still in his seat and sit in the right position.
I feel like a newscaster, like an old-timey newscaster here.
Yeah, you know.
This feels very serious.
Dude, you were doing the whole Barry White thing, and
I was Sinatra.
Awesome.
I did it my.
Yeah, you're live, dude.
Yeah, how could you not, dude?
You don't need to torture people with that. It sounds like somebody skinning a cat, dude. So, all right, man. We already got people in chat, man. We got Sarah. We got Nikki, the moderator, on. Jesse. Everybody is saying that the audio sounds amazing. So,
hi, everyone.
You're just gonna have to be anchored into your seat, man. You know, it's crazy because this is the way I used to do it when I had the sober on two wheels, whatever thing.
It seems very serious.
It does, right? But it doesn't need to be. I mean, you know, it's just gonna sound better. That's all.
Seems very serious.
Yeah. So today we're going to do some topics that we thought was pretty important considering summer is just starting. And, you know, I think we got some cool stuff to talk about. Hopefully we got some funny stories to talk about, man. I'm pretty shot out right now. I'm a little tired. Didn't sleep too good last night. And, you know, shit happens. But you called me to go for a ride today, man. But I was in the middle of doing something, and you didn't even get to ride today.
No, I did not get to ride today.
So,
because Harley Davidson likes to put things on their bikes that are fucking useless that just cost a lot of money.
Of course. You know, you can't go to Harley without spending $100.
I'm serious.
It might be $200 now. I haven't bought anything there in a while. It's like the grocery store, dude. That's what the grocery store is turning into Harley Davidson. You can't go in there without spending $100.
And like when I was a kid, man, you could pay like a local dude, give him a case of beer and like $50.
And he'd wrench on your bike.
And he'd wrench on your bike or your car.
Yeah, you know? Well, everybody's got computerized bullshit on their bike.
Everybody. It's all computerized now.
I mean, even your bike. You got an older bike and it's still got some computer stuff on it, which is obviously the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But, all right, so just before we get rolling, man, everybody's saying it sounds great. It's loud enough. There's no issues, anything like that before we get rolling because I don't want to start talking about stuff and then everybody's like, fuck, I can't even hear you.
The air conditioning is good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm nice, man. I was all sweaty before, but I'm good now. I'm up, you know, man. Fat people sweat, dude. What do you want?
I'm aware.
Drags on. Hola, amigo. What's happening, brother? All right, so let's get into this real quick and we'll get the ball rolling, man.
Summertime is here.
Yeah, summertime is here. So
the summertime tattoo.
Summertime tattoos and also on vacation. And we're going to take a different angle at that because of some, you know, recent stuff that's happened. And also, you know, we have very good friends of ours that have tattoo shops in vacation areas too that we're not trying to ding them.
No,
it's not what this is about. But let's just jump into summertime. So real quick, I did do a poll on the community post the other day. And let me make sure I got it up before I kick over to this, because I just figured it'd be cool to show everybody what it looked like. So we're gonna jump into this real quick, and I'm gonna share this. Or not. Hey, all right. How about now? Nope.
So it's funny that the
talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves, me and my personalities. We're going to argue over who gets the mic. Did you get the...
What's up, Kimba?
Did you get the thing up?
Yeah, we're good. So I put a poll up, and it got 50 votes. So that's a pretty good, amount of people to answer this. Basically saying, when is the best time of year to get a tattoo? Is it, winter, spring, summer, fall? And on here you could see winter won, fall kind of came in second, but winter came in at 71% of the people think that winter is the best time to get ink.
Absolutely.
And so Yeah.
I mean, the best time to get tattooed, literally, is right after Christmas,
Okay. Why?
January and February,
Why?
because
You got extra Christmas money?
you got no, no.
Grandma stuffed some cash in
Yeah,
an envelope.
tattooers do not have extra Christmas money. It's absolutely the slowest time of the year. Everybody spent everything they have on Christmas, and there's not going to be a lot of business until the tax returns come in, which is now a more delayed process.
Right.
So it's like selling a motorcycle in spring. Like you want to sell your motorcycle in April
Yeah,
or May, right?
Right before it gets riding season.
Yeah, you don't want to sell it in November or December.
Gotcha.
It's the same thing. Like a tattooer will be grateful. Will be grateful for the extra work in the winter time.
We're seeing here, man, winter, 71% of the people. We had 50, I can't see the actual number, but it's over 50 people voted. Winter came in at 71%, and fall came in at 24%.
And what is the season that most people get tattooed in? Summer.
Actually, believe it or not, dude, 5% of people said summer, and I don't know if they did that on to just be like funny, haha, or
no, I mean
they're being serious.
That's when most people get tattooed. Is in the summertime.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that. Look, I think most people know how to take care of their tattoos, and we're gonna get into that as well. But summertime is not the good time to be doing this because of a multitude of different reasons, and we'll just kind of go right down the list of it. The first
go ahead.
I was gonna say is sun.
Is the sun is the big star.
Sun is like huge. You don't want to get sunburned before you get a tattoo, and you definitely don't want to get sunburned after you get a tattoo.
So years ago, I had gotten a dragon tattooed on me, and I'd gotten purple put in it.
Okay.
And this wasn't even like when purple was a new color. I mean, it was a pretty established color. And I did some work as a landscaper, got terribly, terribly burned, and the purple actually bubbled up out of my skin.
Yeah.
You know?
So that actually happened to me when I was living in Arizona. I got this piece done on my arm, and man, it was an amazing tattoo, and I knew to stay out of the sun, right? But we actually got in the truck to go somewhere.
When you hung your arm out the window.
And no, man, I didn't, because we had the windows up with the air on.
Okay.
Right, but the amount of sun that was coming through the window of my truck, I had actually put too much Aquaphor on my tattoo, and I think really what happened was it just cooked that Aquaphor, and it bubbled up the purple and blue. And, I wound up having to go back and getting touched up, and I felt like a freaking amateur at that point when I knew better. But, yeah, sun is just obviously no good for your tattoos at any point. You should always use sunscreen as much, the highest you can get. I'm a 50 SPF dude because I burn already as it is. I'm like paper white. But, you should always try to have at least some type of sunscreen on your ink, because ink will fade with sun.
Without a doubt.
So the other factor that a lot of people don't think about is the whole pool experience, or ocean experience, or bay, or we're swimming. We'll call it swimming.
Right.
You don't want to be soaking.
Right.
And talk about that, because you and I were just talking about that, like when you sink in soaking a scab.
Yeah. So when you saturate a scab, when you saturate, that's a weird action. Never mind.
Yeah.
When you saturate a scab, it tends to harden. And when it hardens, it actually pulls the ink out. It's like the equivalent of picking. You're actually,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can tell if a guy comes in and he's got like dots in his tattoos. That meant that he picked his scabs. He picked the ink out. Because really, like, even if you have a scabby tattoo that you let heal completely, that ink will stay in there. The picking is what kills it. And then if you take a new tattoo and you submerge it in water and it gets sort of goopy.
Yeah.
That pulls the ink out of it.
So Drag just said summer and tattoos. I can't do tattoo in summer. I start in October. He said in the summertime, I want to swim. I don't like direct sun like a vampire. Long shirt always. So yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up is, look, if you can't get sunscreen, or if I think there might be people out there that are allergic to or have sensitive skin that can't use sunscreen, long sleeve shirt or some type of fabric to cover up the tattoo. I know they sell those the sleeves, the fake sleeves or whatever that you can kind of put over your arm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see dudes riding with them a lot instead of doing sunscreen. But yeah, man. So that whole swimming thing is a major no-no.
It's a major no-no up to the point. Like I feel like tattoos heal in two different phases. First, the tattoo heals where there's no scabs, but it still looks sort of shiny if you put it in the light.
Right.
And then it goes from that stage of healing to where it like completely heals in. That's what we used to call it. Like when it was healed in, that means that it just looks like regular skin now. There's no more.
Right.
More.
That doesn't have that silver skin look.
Yeah, there's no more existing trauma to the skin.
Yeah, man.
And once it heals in, then you can swim.
Right. So the other thing that we wanted to bring up was, I think that there's a misconception among some people out there, and not everybody. I think most of us are smart enough to realize it, but you can't have second skin or derma skin or whatever the hell they call it. There's a couple different brands and variations of it right now, and go swimming.
Yeah, that's totally out of my wheelhouse. I don't understand.
Right. No, I know. I understand that, but that's a no-no as well. I mean, you're not supposed to soak that either. I mean, I think it even says on there about not taking a bath with it on. Like you're not supposed to soak it.
Right.
So, that thing is not going to save it either. There's so many different factors that go into it that it's like, you and I were just talking about this. If you go and take a poll of, I don't know, man, let's say 20 different tattoo artists, you're probably going to get, what do you think, 10 different variations of how to take care of a tattoo?
15, 20, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that there's dead set rules of keep it clean, don't be rubbing dirt on it, go, rolling around in the mud. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest, most important part.
Yeah, so we all agree because infection requires a couple things. The first thing that infection requires is a portal from the outside of your body to the inside of your body. And the tattoo's a portal.
Right. It's a hole.
Yeah, a hole. Any kind of wound, any kind of cut. It's going to allow germs that are normally external to get internal. But it also requires the presence of bacteria. And the best defense against bacteria is just plain soap and water. Like we all agree, doesn't even have to be antibacterial soap, just good soap and water. It's when you get past that to what ointments do I use? Do I use the second skin? Do I use only moisturizer? Is Aquaphor good? Does Neosporin pull the color out? Does A&D work? And the point is that I really tell my clients that are tattooed, do whatever works for you. Because I don't know, in the end, I don't know what works with anybody's particular immune system, with anybody's particular...
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not going to say his name, but there was one pretty well-known tattoo artist that was man, we're not doctors,
right,
but we can just tell you what we've been told, and this is the proper way to do it, and it might deviate from tattoo artist to tattoo artist.
For instance, I'll wash mine. I'll wash the tattoos I get, and then when they get tight, when they begin to get tight, I put Lubriderm or Curel on them, and then that's it. And then you, on the other hand, you use the Sanoderm and Aquaphor, right?
No. I mean, I've tried Sanoderm.
Right.
It doesn't really work for me, man. I sweat too much. I'm it wants to slide around and stuff like that. So,
but we both know people that fucking swear by it.
Yeah. I'm a Aquaphor, and then I do Aveeno unscented, to finish it out. But Aquaphor for the first couple, I don't know, probably 4 days or 5 days or so. But we got a couple people that commented. So you want to do a couple people that Hey, while we're thinking about it, everybody that's watching right now, please smash that like button real quick. Maybe we can push it out to some more people and get some more people in here to watch with us and hang out. All right, so Sarah said, I like getting tattooed in the fall or spring because I'm not in the sun or water much, but it's warm enough that I don't have to worry about clothing rubbing against it while it heals. Jeans ruined a knee tattoo for me once. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other piece that I didn't even think about. Like, well, I did because getting an elbow done or whatever, I was very diligent of making sure I wasn't like rubbing on the table and stuff like that. Nikki said, I got my 2 biggest tattoos legs in the summer, so I didn't have pants rubbing on them, but I don't like the beach, so all good. Shiro Kimba. In summer, I always try to protect my tattoos from the sun wearing long socks, and so better to get tattooed in the winter. Yeah, I mean, look, I obviously want to always try to get it in the fall or whatever, but I got a piece that I got to get finished here soon that's going to be summertime. But you know what? I'm not really the pool type. I can't stand the beach. So I really don't have to worry about all that. I think my biggest thing is like sun, like riding and stuff like that. But, you know.
I mean, everywhere I left a tattoo is covered anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any new tattoos I get are either going to be under my shirt or under my jeans.
So Sarah said her favorite way to heal now is to wear second skin for 4 to 5 days, wash it, and then only lotion when it feels uncomfortable. I tried that. It actually did work for me. And then another time it didn't work for me because, like I said, it slid around too much, and then it was just,
I don't think I've ever used second skin ever.
Second skin, Tom says, second skin for at least the first few days for me. I get super paranoid about infections otherwise. He said otherwise dry healing works when moisturizer, then moisturizer when it stops peeling. So we've also heard people say that too, that, dry heal.
So I got a buddy of mine, Johnny G, right? And Johnny G will get scabs on his tattoos that are as thick as quarters.
Yikes.
I mean, and then he just doesn't do anything but wash them, and they heal beautifully.
Right.
And then what he told me one time when I was tattooing him was that when he tried to do all the other stuff, like all the ointments and all of that stuff, everything healed terribly. It wasn't until he just let him alone.
So, I mean, I did a video. You guys can go ahead and watch it if you want. I mean, I have my own little particular way that I do stuff, like the whole hot compress thing. Hey, man, it works for me. It works. I mean, my color holds freaking amazing. I mean, if you catch me in a, wintertime, dead of winter, and I got zero sun that's hitting my skin, I'm like paper white, dude. If I was any more white, I'd be transparent. But, me doing that whole hot compress thing works for me, man. And, I found out later that that's part of the whole, thing that they do in Japan with the baths and stuff like that.
Yeah, they sit in saunas.
Yeah, man. I thought that was pretty cool when I found that out. Drag said second skin, first day, change it, and then I let it on for 3 days. Then 4 days of after cream, tattoo after cream. It heals without any loose or loss of colors. So I mean, look, we are obviously we would all love to sit here and act like our life is 100% planned out, and stuff doesn't happen, right?
Oh, my life's planned out.
Yeah.
Down to the moment.
Yeah, sure it is. But we put on there about vacation, but this is not a we're anti getting a tattoo done on vacation thing. It's just part of it. And I think that we've heard a lot of weird stories about people that go on vacation and wind up getting a jacked up tattoo or something happens with it. And there's some stuff that we talked about, and then you brought up a couple things today that I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. So we're going to jump into that too. But You know, the key thing here is, you know, everybody just needs to realize that you need to keep your tattoo clean. You need to take your time and make sure you're washing it on a regular with antibacterial soap, non-scented. You don't want anything with any kind of perfumes or whatever in it, because the alcohol and the perfumes will supposedly draw the color out.
Or they burn too.
Or that.
Yeah, they burn.
Yeah, man. Like putting aftershave on after you nick your face or your head.
Yeah.
You want to talk about pain, man? I know women got it worse, and they got areas that they can clip that's probably 1,000 times worse, but you nick your head, dude, whoo, man. It is, it's rough. And then I actually, because I'm bald, dude, hold on. You realize some dude made a comment the other day on one of my videos, and he goes, hey, man, I don't know if you're old or you're an albino, but thanks for the info.
Old or an albino?
Yeah. I was like, wow, Dick, I'm old. Thanks.
Well, your eyes aren't
I
clear.
got fucking, my eyebrows aren't white either.
Yeah, don't albinos have pink eyes?
Dude. I don't know about that, but there's like, they have absolutely no color in their hair.
Yeah.
It's like white.
I think they have pink eyes too.
Maybe, but, you know, people just want to be douches. It is what it is. Anyway.
So I worked at Seaside. Speaking of douches, I worked at Seaside, New Jersey. Just kidding. And what I wasn't aware of until I worked there was that it really exists as part of a circuit when it comes to like the body mod people, like the tattooers and some of the body piercing people. They just move around.
Right.
It's pretty much the same companies, and they cycle through depending on where the season is. So like a typical thing in Seaside, you rent from, I think it's Friday to Thursday, right? So people would come in on Fridays and Saturdays to get tattooed at the shop, and we would tell them, do not fuck around in the ocean and make sure to get sunscreen. Make sure to take care of your tattoo. And without fail, they'd be like, of course, bro. Of course. And then every now and then, some douchebag would roll in 6 days later, and his tattoo would look bad.
Right.
Because he spent the last 5 days swimming in the ocean with a fresh tattoo, sitting in the sun.
First of all, you're swimming in the Jersey waters of Jersey with an open wound.
Do you remember when the needles were washing up?
And tampons and all kinds of nastiness.
Welcome to New Jersey.
You're like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Hey, baby Ruth. Ooh, a crab just bit my foot. Oh, no. Sorry, that's a hypodermic needle. Yeah. I'm not trying to bash Jersey Shore towns because, you know, they got to make money too.
Yeah, I mean, they cleaned up the shore.
They did. But I'm not swimming in the goddamn ocean with an open wound.
But seriously.
That's for damn sure, dude.
But seriously, and it's just like total. And the funny part of it is they'd be like, look what you did to me. And we would say, we know, dude. We know what you've been, like, your face is peeling.
Yeah.
Your face is peeling.
You got raccoon eyes, dude.
Right.
I'm wearing your shades in the sun.
I haven't been out on the beach all week. Yeah.
Probably still got little kernels of sand stuck in it. Jerk off. Yeah, I don't know, man.
So if I were out, like if I went out to like an event, like
Sturgis
or even like a tattoo convention, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that's
different.
The tattoo I want to get at this particular event.
Right.
But then I'm gonna take what I get. Like I'm gonna understand who I'm getting tattooed by.
Well, we're gonna get into that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And and I'm gonna understand that if I'm getting tattooed at a shop where there's 50 people behind me, well, that's an extreme. But we'll say there's
that's
10
an awesome
people.
Shop, dude.
There's 10 people behind me waiting to get tattooed.
Right.
I mean, you got to use common sense.
Dude, that's, you're talking 50 people behind you, man. I mean, I did that military one, and I was talking about that where they had those guys, they were cranking out, like, each artist was doing, like, 15, 20 tattoos a day.
Yeah.
Man, you're cranking out some work, dude. They, they weren't doing anything crazy elaborate or anything, but, man, that's a lot of work, dude, to pop out on a day. But those guys were open from like 10 a.m. till like whenever the last guy in line was.
We had a bouncer when I worked ashore for the weekends.
Oh yeah.
We
Dude,
had a door guy.
man, when I was doing sound down the shore, there was a restaurant that everybody used to go to after the clubs would close at 3 a.m. And they used to have like 4 or 5 bouncers at the door. Because everybody's all shitty drunk, man. They want to, throw hands in the middle while you're trying to eat your wings, dude.
Yeah, you're trying to eat your
You're like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Sarah said, I got a walk-in tattoo on vacation once. Hold on, I just scrolled. Visiting the East Coast. I knew I had to do it towards the end so it didn't ruin the beach days. Sarah is smart. We were just going to touch on that, so let me get the rest of these comments out. Jesse said, I've gone surfing with fresh tattoos, but I haven't had any problems. Jesse, you know better than that, dude.
Jesse.
Tom says, I'm going to a music festival in a couple weeks, and they have a tattoo place there. I could not imagine a worse place to get tatted. Maybe, but I would want to definitely... we're going to touch on that in a minute, Tom. Drag said, today I saw a guy who was tattooed of Wang OD. This other kind of tattoo art. Wang OD. I don't even know. Are we allowed to talk about that? Drag, I'm not sure where you're going with that, buddy, but if you want to let us know, we're all ears.
Jesse, could you put your Instagram handle up in the chat for me? I think it's Cold Iron Jesse.
Yeah, I think it is too.
He's doing a lot. Jesse's an apprentice. He's doing a lot of work down at a spot in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody check him out. He does good work.
I think Tom is trying to be a tattoo artist too. He's over in UK, man. He's trying.
Nice.
He's looking for an apprenticeship. So Tom out there. Where were we going though? So we covered all the summertime. Hey, don't do this. Do this. And
you have to be aware too, because we were talking about getting tattooed at tourist destinations, and naturally the thing in Vegas, right? Which there's been a lot of
updates on.
And for you guys that don't know, tourist went to a Vegas tattoo shop. Tattooer apparently was under the influence, and he wrecked the fucking tattoo.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
It was real bad.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because she said that she looked at the Yelp reviews of the shop. But people should be aware when they're looking at tattoo shops that I worked with a guy one time who would tell people as they were leaving he would take money off the price of the tattoo if they would leave a good Yelp review in front of him. So things can be manipulated.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you do have to use your common sense. You know what I mean?
Yelp reviews, to me, I've never used one for a tattoo because I either know the tattoo artist or I know people that have gotten work done. So, like, I don't just randomly just go. But Yelp reviews for me, like for restaurants, hotels, I will look at good ones and bad ones just because, there's people out there that just want to dislike everything. And then there's
troll.
People out there that just want to make everything sound the greatest thing that has ever happened. I don't even want to get into it, but so yeah, Jesse's is Cold Iron Jess. He just put it in chat, so anybody wants to go check out his Instagram. Drag is saying, and actually now that you're saying this, dude, I've actually heard of this lady. So he the Wang OD is a 107-year-old woman from the Philippines. She's the oldest living tattoo artist. I actually saw a thing about her, and the first thing I saw was she was like 105, and then obviously something got updated, or she did something recently or whatever, and she's 107, man. And I was actually thinking about doing a episode on that, but by the time I get to it,
she'll be like 100 and dead.
Maybe. I'm so far behind right now, dude. It's brutal. It's brutal. I'm trying to crank out episodes, man, but I'm just like, you know, I got to sleep at some point, man. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Cold Iron Jesse, there you go. Follow him on Instagram. Gave him a little quick shout out. He's a good dude too, man. You know what? You know, apprentices and stuff come and go, and he just seems like he's a pretty cool dude, and he's very into it. And you know what, man? I gotta respect him because he's actually interested in the history of this too. So that's cool, man. You know, mad props for that.
Absolutely.
All right, dude, and that's enough patting you on the back, dude. All right, now let's go. He knows I'm just busting his balls, dude.
Apprentices come and go. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going back to the vacation thing, man, we're not saying that you shouldn't go on vacation and get a tattoo.
Well, you shouldn't go on vacation ever. You should just work, 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 work.
Yeah, well,
Just kidding.
that's how my life feels right now. But look, if you're going to do something like that, at least be smart. Like Sarah just said that she waited to the end of her vacation to get the tattoo. So if you're going to the beach and you want to get a tattoo because you're in an area or whatever that has a phenomenal tattoo artist like Asbury Park or whatever, and because we know a couple guys, and
Or Aberdeen.
you know what I mean? Like you go, hey, I'll wait to the end. I actually was,
or you also just get what you get and understand it for what it is.
right. Well,
Like, I mean, I've gotten tattoos in places like that they're not the greatest, but they're what they are.
it's like, yeah, man, it was a cool thing I did while I was on vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, well, the other part that you brought up today that I wasn't even really thinking about it, but like, you're never going to see that person again. So it's not like going to your local shop and you're saying, hey, man, can you touch this up for me? Because you're, you know, what are you going to do? Go back to Punta Cana and be like, hey, man, can you touch this up for me?
So I got a funny story about Jamaica.
We're not going to talk about you being naked on the beach again.
No, we're not going to talk about the rudder. So I was in Montego Bay, and I was talking to people on the beach and in the hotel and stuff, and some of them were like, "There's a tattoo shop in Montego Bay," and I was like, "Fucking awesome!" So I left the resort, and I'm thinking I'm going to go to this tattoo shop, and this, I'm going to tattoo this guy. He's going to tattoo me. It's going to be like a vacation thing. It was, and I shit you not, dude, it was like a stall in a barn with like some tattoo magazines, just pictures sort of pinned to the wall. And some, like, I don't know, dude was 10 different kinds of fucked up. He's like, I'm not the tattooer, but I'll call him. And I was like, no, that is cool.
You could feel the infection coming on.
Yeah, I'm
before
just
it even
leaving.
Starts.
Yeah, dude, and it was wild because I was thinking, I mean, I wasn't expecting like a hospital sterilization. I thought it might be a little rough and tumble tattoo shop,
But not in a barn.
but I wasn't thinking it was going to be like
Yeah.
as absolutely primitive as it was.
Dude, it sounds like the old days on Coney Island when all they had was like that little tiny booth.
All they had was a stand. Yeah, they
Yeah.
tattoo you on the boardwalk.
And, Nikki is trying to call me out and saying that I seem to recall Buck getting a tattoo on vacation. And I did, but I did my homework before I went as well. And I also got a tattoo from a freaking, legend.
So, incidentally, congratulations to Al Hardy, because I think that he just had an anniversary either at his shop or as a tattooer. Like, I think I saw something on Facebook or Instagram.
Like it was like
Old picture of him.
40 years of
40
tattooing
years.
or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I think I
yeah.
saw it too, man. I actually just talked to him the other day, man. I'm trying to kick around some ideas for tattoo artists outside of the United States. We're starting to get some viewers in, the UK is actually the second biggest viewership for us. So I'm trying to do some UK guys, some Canadians. I'm trying to spread it out a little bit. I don't want to just do US people. Nikki said there's a cruise company that has a tattoo studio on its ship specifically for vacation tattoos. That's kind of cool.
I'm just
You might as well just pack it up,
I'm
bro.
just giving
we got
up,
Navy
man.
bases with tattoo shops now.
just
We got
giving
cruise
up,
ships
man.
with tattoo shops. I was in. Ooh, excuse me.
I was at
just
Universal
burped
Studios.
Dude.
They had a tattoo shop in their little city walk, John.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? That's like a commercial spot. I got one even better.
What? Disney World? Please don't
No,
tell me.
no. Dude, I was in Arizona. The guy that owns GoDaddy bought a dealership. It is, I think it's now the biggest Harley dealer in the United States. It had its own, like, so all their mechanics were walking around with, like, doctor's lab coats on. They had a separate shop for audio, separate shop for, like, paint booths. They had a restaurant. They had a wedding chapel. They had a movie theater. And I know I say that word wrong.
Theater. No, you
It's
just
from
say
Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, you just say it like you're from the 1880s. We're gonna go to the talkies. We're gonna go to the moving pictures.
But they had a tattoo shop in there. So a Harley dealer with a tattoo shop.
Did you ever see the movie Stigmata?
Yeah, that was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Filmed in Pittsburgh. So in Stigmata, there was a place where she worked, which was like, it was like clothing, bondage gear, hairstyling,
Kind of like the
piercing,
old zipper heads
and tattooing, all like in the same place.
right.
And I thought that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, man, you're definitely pulling in all the crowd.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's like the nightclub that was in Philly. It was the After Hours nightclub in Philly. It was the industrial. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like all industrial music at the time because that was big. So like that was it for me, man. Like Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also where all the strippers used to go after their shift to hang there at the. Yeah, man. So it was beautiful. It was a magnificent experience.
Was that like Fast, Loose, and Out of Control? Something like that?
The name of it?
No, that was a different. That was a different thing. There was a different. Like,
It was definitely Fast, Loose, and Out of Control.
was a
but that
dance-
was not the name of it.
Yeah, there was a dance
was,
party.
It was called Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Woo, that was some good times. Good times. Sarah just said, I've been to a car shows with tattoo booths. Yeah. Tattoo booths are pretty notorious for car shows, bike shows. Hey man, I know somebody that I actually did an episode on him. Bill Keithley. He did a couple of my tattoos. He basically just got to a point where he was like, you know what, I'm sick of working in shops, and he's got a little short bus that he gutted out, and he's got a mobile tattoo shop, and he travels all over the country to his different clients, and then he goes to like Sturgis and Daytona and stuff like that. He makes bank at Sturgis, dude.
So I have an old piece that I got that I think was originally put out by Spalding and Rogers, and it's actually it's a rheostat plate that's made for working with car batteries. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the rheostat plate to adjust the power, so you can run the machines off of it. But
So I was actually I was looking at this thing about Al Shipley out in Ohio, and you know, man, like, because he started the Ohio Tattoo Club or whatever it was. He copied it off of the Bristol Tattoo Club, and then you know, I guess he became really good friends with Lee Scusey, and the museum that they have out there, they were talking about how he had a bunch of documentation. He kept everything from you know, stuff he bought from Zeiss, he bought from Cap Coleman, and like a slew of, like, you know, what we would consider now, like, you know, like the legendary dudes. And I think on one of the things that he had, they were talking about how Cap Coleman, he had bought a machine or something from him, and he said that he ran all his stuff off of batteries. He's like, don't plug it in. They run better on batteries.
I've
So
heard
there was that whole like AC DC thing, right?
that it's a better, cleaner current. I've heard that.
But somebody also made a comment though that, and I don't have anything to back this up right now, so I don't want to spread misinformation, but they had made a comment about like that's where the term scratchers came from, was the guys that were still using battery powered instead of electric powered. I'll look it up and I'll verify that. But,
I'm gonna say nah.
But it came from a really good source. I may have misunderstood the conversation, but that's kind of how I took it.
I thought scratchers were because people that can't put lines in.
No. Well, it's different now.
Right.
But originally.
That's what it meant?
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not 100% on that, so don't anybody like hold me to that. But that's kind of how I interpreted the conversation. I'll look into it and get back to you guys about that. But it's got a different meaning now, obviously, because we're talking about people that are doing like, shit on their kitchen table or ignorant tattoos or whatever. Those are people that I guess are being considered scratchers now. But going back to the vacation thing, I don't know how we keep going. Like,
is anybody a scratcher now?
I don't know, dude. You know what?
Is anybody considered a scratcher now?
I'm sure.
I mean, isn't it all good? Everything that everybody's doing now?
No. It's not. No, I've seen
send away to Amazon.
Tons of
watch some YouTube videos.
Tons of shitty work out there lately that keeps popping up on different feeds of man. Look, I think that man, there's got to be something where you have to have a conscience knowing. Wasn't it something like Lyle Tuttle said about having a conscience knowing that you're basically altering somebody's life by giving them a tattoo? So if you're going to give them a shitty tattoo, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. Not everybody's going to have their A game every day, all the time. Like, we just talked about this the other day, man. You could do a tattoo 1,000 times, and you're never going to be perfect 1,000 times. There's always going to be some deviations or whatever. But we're talking about people that are just complete trash, garbage tattoos, dude. We've all seen them.
I was.
Where we're like, yo, bro, did you get that? Where you were locked up in county?
Yeah, I was just being sarcastic.
No, I know you were, but
yeah,
it's
I forget. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I was saying how when I bought my first shop, there were people I went around, and I mean, I didn't necessarily ask for permission. But I definitely stopped in and was like, is this going to step on your toes?
Dude, a courtesy check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a courtesy
But you know what, dude? We were talking about the 90s, different time.
Yeah.
Different people were controlling tattoos back then that we don't need to get into, but, that was still going on back then.
Yeah,
so
just how different it was.
Yeah, man, you can't just, back then you couldn't just open up a shop and be like, hey, hang a sign. Because that was the easy way to get lit up, firebombed.
Yeah, I don't know if it firebombed, but I mean, I guess sometimes.
I mean, dude, there was some heavy duty shit going on back in those days, man.
I mean, since I've opened up,
we have stories that we can't talk about. Since
I've opened up this tattoo shop in this area, and it's not disrespectful. It's just stating a fact. I mean, 5 shops have opened up in this just little corner of Lower Bucks County. If you go into Northeast, if you go into the Northeast or into Bensalem, I mean, that number is 50, is 100. I mean, who even knows how many shops have opened up?
Yep.
And I guess because the reason I was thinking about this is I was talking to a guy from my hometown yesterday. I got a call from a tattooer from where I'm from in upstate New York. And when I lived there 25 years ago, there were 2 shops. There were 2. That was it.
Right.
Now I think he said there's 40.
Holy shit.
Because all you need in New York is a storefront and a certificate of occupancy. So... Because this guy was talking to me about, do I want to buy some of his stuff or and he, just talking about the state of the industry and stuff.
Dude, I want to talk about we got to get back to the vacation thing.
Back to the vacation thing.
But dude, I really want to talk about the whole General Hospital thing. If we can talk about that without dropping names.
Okay.
Because, dude, I think it's hysterical. So wait.
So I got a buddy of mine who
Been around a long time.
Yeah, been around a long time. Tattooed in Philly, and he used to go to a shop down in Philly in a pretty rough section, and he knew that if he went down there in the afternoon, he would be able to sit with the owner in the bar around the corner, because one of the artists, who was a pretty heavy dude.
Let me just preface it with this. This dude was probably one of the biggest, baddest, meanest dudes in Philly at the time.
Right.
And he rode a motorcycle. Enough said.
And so apparently in the afternoon, the door got locked and the phone got turned off, and he watched General Hospital. Monday to Friday, man. He needed to know what was going on with Luke and Laura.
I mean, look, he's gone now, so there's really no harm in talking about it. But, dude, the fact that this big, badass biker dude has to lock a shop to watch General Hospital is mind-blowing to me, dude. And I guarantee you, if that story came out while he was alive, you'd be getting punched in the mouth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, he was that type of dude, and to hear that story, man, I was dying laughing, dude. And
see, and the best thing about it, right? The best thing about the story is that it completely tracks with my understanding of tattooing. Like, that is just the good shit about tattooing.
yeah, man. And you know, there's a lot of those great old stories that I want to talk about, and I know you have some. And it's just like, you got to just kind of, we got to tiptoe around a bunch of stuff, man, because we don't want to piss people off. And then there's just stuff that we can't even talk about on here because it'll get us shut down. But, man, we got some great stories. And you know what, man? Maybe eventually this thing gets big enough down the road. We could do like a Patreon where it's like members only, and we could talk about whatever the hell we want, and we could just rip on some crazy stories that we have that we can't do here, man.
No.
But they would be awesome, dude. Because we got some stuff that I know you got more than I do, but we have some great stories of.
Well, you got all the stuff from the music.
Yeah,
music
man. Yeah, I mean, I got that, you know, the whole strip club thing, and you know, you just gotta be. We gotta mind our P's and Q's here, unfortunately. But
so Theo Mindel did an interview. Theo works for a tattoo, owns a tattoo shop, I believe, called Spider Murphy's in California. Beautiful, beautiful work. Some of the best work I've ever seen. And he was interviewed in London, and he was asked, "What's the biggest difference?" And he said, "People aren't the pirates they used to be."
right.
You know, like, and I agree. Like, they were just maybe I'm older now or whatever. I'm a little more jaded, but they just seemed like more like just flavored,
Dude,
and colorful, and like
there's still a handful of them old heads around, though,
like
man.
the General Hospital story is just exactly.
Dude, that was gold, gold, man. Because I knew him. And I just can't even think of him watching General Hospital, dude. It blows my mind. But no, man, there's you know, man, like Baba, his whole crew, they call themselves the Pirates, dude. They show up at a tattoo convention, dude. They take up like 4 or 5 booths. They hang the Jolly Roger smack in the middle, dude. And it's all them, man. It's like Gil, Jesse, Baba. I think Jesse's Baba's brother, Gorilla. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. There's a couple. Dude, the pirate dude that was with him up in Jersey. Oh, man, I can't think of his name. It doesn't matter, but there's still some.
Cambria?
No. It wasn't Cambria. Sarah said she'd sub to a Patreon. Right on. Thank you.
Nice.
If we ever get there, man, it's good to know. That'd be cool, man, to do where we could just talk about whatever we want, because that wouldn't be on YouTube. And we wouldn't get demonetized. You know, at some point, we're gonna have to not stop cursing.
Do we curse?
We do. It's so natural for us.
Do
It
we
just
curse?
flows like a fine, you know, it just flows out
Like
of
a
our mouths.
cheeseburger, man.
Dude, it's horrible, man. I curse so much.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Nothing. Fuck it. Eventually, they're going to be like, all right, man, we're going to have to stop. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're going on vacation, do your homework. Don't just look at Yelp. Don't look at Google reviews. Look at portfolios on Instagram. Maybe get somebody that you know that went there. You know, you just don't want to just randomly pick some guy that you're going to go get a tattoo from and have it for the rest of your life and be all jacked up and wonky.
Unless that's the tattoo that you want.
Unless that's the tattoo that you want.
Right.
Hey, man, there's plenty of good people that are around in these areas that you're vacationing in that are phenomenal tattoo artists, and we're not talking about them. We're talking about the other guys that are just kind of rambling along, man. Like me personally, dude, it's crazy because when I was a little kid, I grew up in a suburb of Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? And they used to have the county fair like it was the big deal, dude, right? And I wish I could remember the guy, man, and I've been trying to find out who it was, but there was an old head that used to come every year, dude, in his little pull behind trailer with him and his dirty wife smoking, and like they didn't look like they bathed, and they would do dude, that guy would be sitting there all day because there was no tattoo shops in my town. That dude would be sitting there all day and all night banging out ink, dude, little bangers out of the flash book, man. And I guarantee it was somebody that was like, you know, known enough, you know what I mean? And I used to think that was the coolest thing, dude. And I was like, man, I want to get a tattoo off of this guy. I want to get a tattoo. And I was a little kid thinking this, right? Now, absolutely not. I wouldn't even consider it, dude. Because, you know, like you just said, what are you going to see him the next year that he comes around?
I mean,
If you walk out with some like oozy, nasty.
There's a story of I can't remember where I read it or whatever, but there was a guy that used to tattoo at the carnivals who'd be like, put the bandage on, keep it on there for 3 days.
Oh.
Right? Because you know why? By the time he took the bandage off,
he was already out of town.
He's gone.
Yeah. Take that bandage off when it says it smells south of cheese. Dude. This wasn't at in Saving Private Ryan when the medic would go around and check all the guys. He'd be like, does that smell like it's south of cheese? And they'd be like, yeah. And he'd be like, all right, he's going to lose his leg. Or he's gone. Don't even bother. Give him a shot of morphine. Call it a day. Give him an extra one. Dude, I know we just did the whole Memorial Day thing, man, but I watched this really amazing thing of World War II in color. And
Ken Burns?
No, it was something completely different, dude. And I think it might even be tonight, man. I have to look, but they got or that dudes that were there, and they, you know what I mean, and they're talking about the stuff that's filmed, and they're just talking about like it does not do it justice, man, of what those guys went through, man. Like I did have old or hear World War II guys talk about Saving Private Ryan, though, man, with that whole D-Day scene where they just were like, you know, teary-eyed because they were just like, man, that's the closest they had ever seen it, like, you know, redone. But crazy, dude. Crazy, man. I really enjoyed, I mean, that video didn't do that well for me. I didn't get a lot of views on it, which is fine. It happens. But I really enjoyed doing the research for that, man, because, You know, man, like I always had a true appreciation for military people, man. And, you know, man, I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but like at the end, man, I actually had where I talked about like those guys didn't give a shit about like, well, what's it going to look like when you're 80 years old and stuff like that. And then I had pictures of 80-year-old war vets with tattoos, dude, that were faded. And like the one guy looked like he got burnt pretty bad. And it was like, you know, I don't know, man. Like I love just digging into the history of stuff. I really feel like if I wasn't such a screw up in school, I probably would have wound up being a history teacher. I love history, dude. But, you know, I was too busy smoking weed, playing football, and drinking beers. Beers.
Yeah, similar. Similar.
Got me nowhere. Here I am, Sunday nights, sitting in a tattoo shop, talking to people on a camera.
I
they said I would amount to nothing.
I read about one of the most touching things I ever read about was Guadalcanal.
Yeah.
Like what the conditions that they dealt with at Guadalcanal.
Dude, those guys in the Pacific, man. I mean, everybody wants to talk about D-Day, but excuse me while I spit.
My buddy Mike has a picture of he gave to me. I think it was one of his uncles is in the Pacific, a Navy guy. He's got a monkey on his shoulder.
Nice.
They're just all standing there.
Dude, these guys, man, you know, everybody wants to talk about D-Day, dude, but, you know, man, those guys that were in the Pacific, man, the Bataan Death March and all that, man, they had horrendous conditions, dude, that people will never even be able to fathom, dude.
And the reason we're talking about the horrendous conditions of war is because this started out with a discussion of Seaside. To bring it back to tattooing.
Yeah. But nah, man. So on a serious note, though, if you're gonna go on a vacation, try to do the best you can to look up who you're gonna get a tattoo from, man. You know, do your homework, man. I really think that anytime you get a tattoo, you should do your research and do your homework. You don't want to just pick random people to get ink from.
Which is, something that we disagree on.
I know, man, but that's fine. It's just like we disagree on the fact that I like to, cover my tattoos this way and do aftercare this way.
Yeah, like every now and then I just like to go into a random shop where but I mean I'm pretty covered at this point, and like I have fucked up tattoos from people that just the memories of the tattoo counts more to me than the tattoo itself.
Yeah, the experience of it.
Yeah, places where I've walked in and just been like, oh, yeah, that. And people, well, what does that mean? And, well, it means it looked cool.
Yeah, dude, I saw a meme the other day.
It looked cool.
And it was the meme said, what do your tattoos mean? And the answer was, it means I can sit still long enough. It's the truth. I mean, like, not everybody has tattoos that have meanings, man. I have a couple that have meaning, but I have ones that mean absolutely nothing.
I have both. Yeah.
Tattoos that I wanted that I was like, dude, that's a banging piece I want to get, man. Enough said. Is anybody still alive out there? Just anyone? Raise your hand. Anyone? Are we talking to ourselves?
We might be talking to ourselves now.
That's fine.
I think we lost.
We talk to ourselves all the time.
I think we lost him in the gloom and doom of the Pacific Theater.
Nah, dude. I think everybody appreciates that, man. I mean, it's part of the whole, videos that got put out. So, I don't know what's next on my list as far as, all right, cool. We still got people hanging. Sarah's still here. Nikki's still here. We didn't have a couple of the regulars in tonight. We didn't see Artie. Big Boys News Channel, Truth Addiction. Bunch of slackers, dude. See, man.
How are we ever gonna?
I don't know, man. We're never gonna get over.
Make the big money.
Yeah, well, we're never gonna make the big money, dude. It's not about that, though. We're here to hang out and have a good community, dude. That's what I want it to be, man. I want to have interaction with everybody, dude. I want people to chime in, and you know what I mean. Yeah, Jesse's still here too. Cool.
That's really what I'm most interested in too, to be honest with you. Is I would like for there to be more back and forth between us and the viewers. And
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I think that there's going to be times where I think, like, I still got a ways to go or whatever, man, where we could do, like, super chats and stuff like that, and it would make it more, like, popping in here. And, I mean, not that we're looking for the money or whatever, but, like, man, people like that when they see their name pop up on the screen, and they get to ask a question, and we'll throw it up there. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll figure it out. I mean, we'll get to do some cool stuff like that. I mean, I think the people that do show up all the time are just like, man, like Tom just said, man, I'm just enjoying the stories, dude. That's cool. Somebody actually said that the other day, and hold on, let me see if I can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it or not, so just bear with me. But somebody said it the other day, dude, and I was like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. That's exactly what I want. Give me one second.
So while Buck is doing that, incidentally, next week in Baltimore on June 8th, I guess?
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Yep, Saturday. There's going to be a David Mann motorcycle tattoo show. You can find it on Instagram. I just ran across it right before I came on the air, so I wasn't able to get a lot of information about it, but it looks like a good time. Bikes and tattoos. And for those of you that don't know, David Mann was an incredible, prolific painter who did a lot of work for Easy Rider magazine. Some super iconic images.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, dude, you know what else I'm looking forward to, man?
The meaning of it all.
No, man, that the Bike Riders movie, dude. I'm.
Oh, looking forward to the Bike Riders movie.
Yeah.
I actually have the book.
Yeah, you do.
So if anybody gets a chance, the book, The Bike Riders, is actually based on a series of interviews and photographs taken by Danny Lyons. And Danny Lyons also did a lot of pretty amazing work in the civil rights movement.
Yeah, dude, I was going to say he did a bunch of...
He took a lot of photos that he risked his ass to take.
So I found the comment.
Okay.
And I thought you would appreciate this because it's directly... It was a comment on the live stream.
About how good we look?
No. That we will never get that comment.
We might get that comment.
There could be some chubby chasers out there.
Right?
Great content. I love the interesting conversations, and the atmosphere is such that the viewer feels like they're sitting in the shop listening to old heads talk. Right on, dude.
Wow.
We're old heads.
Wow.
Right on. Anyway.
Did anybody look up about the albino pink eye thing out there?
I just said I was old. I didn't care. I mean, dude, you want to call me an albino? Whatever, dude. I can't help it. I didn't genetically have non-gray hair. You know what, though? When it did go gray, it was gray right in the middle. Kind of had like a skunk kind of look.
Like this?
Dude, I looked awesome. Like, I looked like one of the Steiner brothers, the wrestlers or whatever.
Nice.
The one dude had the fucking blonde streak in the middle. It was banging, and then all of a sudden it just went poof, and it turned white.
So, Jesse, Tom, Sarah, Drag, if any of you guys after the show or on the Facebook or whatever YouTube want to comment about something you'd like us to talk about or something that you're curious about,
Absolutely, man.
we absolutely invite you to. I mean, not Jesse, the other guys definitely, but
Not Jesse.
yeah, I don't.
We don't want to hear from no apprentice, man. Dude, he's gonna be like, next time we see him, he's gonna be like, you assholes. David Reed in the house.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything you're curious about, anything you want us to talk about,
He said, Dave, man, he's one of my oldest friends in here in the chat. And he says, most albinos have blue eyes.
blue eyes. Thank you, David. Thank you.
So, I'm brown. Anyway, I can't help it, dude. And that's the thing, dude. Like, I never thought in a million years that would be something that they'd take a jab at. Like, I thought for sure they would be like,
Well, we own fat.
Right.
We
I owned up to it right
we
off the
own
bat.
being
That's
fat,
why we
yeah.
called the goddamn live stream.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of took that fucking conversation right out of Took the sale. Went right out of that sale, dude. Fat bastards.
Bears.
Yeah. Dude, I almost made a mistake of, I don't know, I think we said this last week or whatever, but of calling this 2 bears in a tattoo shop, and then Justin told me what bears were, and I went, ooh, oh, not going to do that. But Pagoda City's coming up. TatCon's coming up in New York.
Absolutely.
Norfolk in October.
The Jersey Shore, Asbury.
Asbury Park actually is coming up. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll show it to everybody.
And just in speaking of bears, as an aside, I would really love to wish my daughter Colleen a happy Pride Month. Calzone, looking out for you. I love the shit out of you.
All right. Asbury Park coming up June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. You will be there.
I will be there.
With Magnolia Tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Iron Magnolia.
Iron Magnolia. Magnolia Tattoo Company.
Yes. Oh, man, I'm so embarrassed.
It's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. It is Pride Month, fellas. Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter.
We're saying, Happy Pride Month.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse said, hey, I see how it is.
Oh, my God. I'm so fucking dude. Oh, my brain hurts.
Anyway, those are the shows that are coming up. We got Asbury Park. We got Pagoda City in August. TatCon, which we will be at. We'll be hanging out. I'll have some stickers and stuff on me. And then Norfolk in October. And I promise you guys I will get a video out shortly that is going to have a email address for a contest for the 1,000 subscribers, and we're going to try to do something cool. And thank you guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We hope you guys had a good time.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Ava.
Yeah. And Sarah, Nikki, Dave, Jesse, Tom, Drag. I'm trying to see if I left anybody out. Tom.
Yeah, Tom. Tell us how the apprenticeship search is going.
Yeah, man. And let us know if there's anything we could do for you, man. Maybe point you in the right direction. And somebody over in the UK, I don't know where in the UK you live, but, man, we might be able to help you out, point you in the right direction. So, peace.
All right.
Thank you all. Have a good night.